Welcome everybody to Somewhere in Vegas here on Spreaker.com. I'm Mark the Q. I am your host. This is another Rewind episode, and if you're a fan of the 80s and 90s, you're going to love this episode because we got two of the stars of the late 80s, early 90s edition of some of your favorite shows and movies as well. Coming up in the second half of this show, we'll be hearing from Danielle Fishel, who was the short-lived host of The Dish on Style Network. Style Network ended up, I think, leaving like a couple of years after this show was recorded. And then, Danielle also was the star of Boy Meets World. She ended up coming back to acting for Boy Meets World, Girl Meets World, I believe, was the name of the series as well. And she's still doing quite a few acting gigs as well. So we'll have her up coming up a little bit later on. And then now we got a very cool star. If you guys are familiar with the Austin Powers movies, if you guys are very familiar with Robot Chicken, his series, you'll know who this guy is, Seth Green. Really talented individual, really, really funny as well. We do talk quite a bit about the 80s, Robot Chicken, and all that as well. You guys will definitely enjoy it as well. So we'll have our interview with Seth Green coming up right now, and right after the break, we'll have Danielle Fishel. So definitely stay tuned for that. So without further ado, here is Seth Green.
Very talented.
I'm already on the line if you are.
Oh, you're there.
Yeah, I signed up before you did. How you doing?
Oh, great, Seth. How are you doing?
I'm well. I'm a little tired, but I'm good.
Well, first of all, welcome to Vegas, first of all.
Thanks. I'll actually be getting there on Sunday morning, I believe.
Yeah, and you're actually doing the Robot Chicken bus tour with the roller rink, right?
Yeah, we're taking a tour of roller rinks across America and throwing skating concert parties with the band Gym Class Heroes.
And I want to compliment you on actually hosting Raw a couple weeks ago.
Oh my gosh, that is part of why I'm so tired. But thanks, man. It was the greatest day of my life.
You must have been. I mean, with all of us playing around with dolls, you must have played with wrestling dolls when you were younger.
Yeah, I was into wrestling when I was a kid. I used to, friends and I would try and beat each other up, get up on top of the couch and leap off like Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
And you were kind of dwarfed by Triple H there.
He's a massive dude. Yeah, his torso is like me sideways.
Is he a huge fan of Robot Chicken?
He was really cool. He came in to do the show. He was actually in our season premiere. We did a sort of a parody of WWE and having guest hosts and things like that. Coincidentally enough. But he said he liked the show and he was really complimentary.
Well, that's awesome. Actually, one of my favorite actresses of all time is one of your good friends, Allison Hannigan. What's it like knowing Allison?
Well, I suppose it's very rewarding. I mean, I don't know how to answer that. She's a really great girl and super talented. Anytime we get to work together, I'm thrilled.
Well, yeah, and it seems like you work together a lot, too. I mean, all the way from...
Isn't that funny? Yeah, our paths have crossed inadvertently several times.
Yeah, including...
We met on My Stepmother's an Alien, and then she did a TV show called Free Spirit, and I guest starred on that. And then I came to work on Buffy, over and over again.
Has Allison had an opportunity to do any voices for Chicken?
She hasn't, and it's funny that you phrase it that way. We have not had her yet, and I don't know why. Typically when we cast this show, it's so specific. Like we need someone to sound like Man or Han Solo or something, and that we can only hire 5 people at a time just because of the budgetary constraints. So typically we get people who do those specialty voices, and then we can sort of stunt cast. But I'd love to get Allie on. She's so funny.
She's hilarious. I love her. And, I mean, how did you come up with the concept of the show?
I'm sorry, how did I come up with the show?
Yeah, the concept, yeah.
Really accidentally. I had wanted to avoid doing an on-camera interview, I think for the second Austin Powers, and thought it'd be funny to make a short film and bring that on Conan. I'd seen some people go on there and do shorts. And I had heard that Hasbro had made a custom Conan figure, like a G.I. Joe, and I had a toy coming out from Austin Powers, and I thought it'd be funny to do a stop motion where our toys like hung out together and saved the world. So I approached my friend Matt Senreich, who at the time was the editorial director of Wizard Publications, and we'd become friends through their title Toy Fair. And I asked him if he knew anything about producing stop motion, and he didn't. And we resolved that we would learn about it together and probably finance this short with our own money. And while we were, this is a long way of telling you the concept of the show, but it like I said, was really backdoor. We wound up producing 12 shorts for Sony's website before broadband, so no one could even watch the stuff that we made. And then we took those shorts and used them as kind of a pilot to sell to the Cartoon Network, who was just developing Adult Swim at that point.
And you only do 15 minutes worth of cartoon as well. I mean, it's kind of funny because they did joke about it on Family Guy when you were on there, that it was only 15 minutes.
I know. Stop motion is really expensive and time-consuming, and all of Adult Swim's programming is quarter hour. So we were really happy to not have to produce 30 minutes of content. When we made the Star Wars special, they're 22 minutes, which is 30 minutes of airtime, and it's a 15-week process all in just to make those specials. It's brutal. So the show for 20 episodes is 11 months of my life every time we make it, and it is just a marathon of work. But we love it. It's hard. I can't complain. We're playing with toys.
And when you approached Lucas about doing this, what was his reaction?
That's probably an unfair characterization of the moment. We had done a sketch on the show called The Emperor Phone Call, in which the Emperor of Star Wars takes a phone call from Darth Vader explaining to him how the Death Star has been destroyed, all his plans are for naught. And we got a phone call, and the caller ID said Lucasfilm, and both Matt and I kind of shit in our pants thinking we're for sure getting sued. And instead they were really polite and invited us to come and take a tour of the facilities and said that they had noticed the sketch and thought it was funny and wanted to have lunch with us. And we were really overwhelmed with that and wound up going to take a tour of their facilities. And over the course of lunch, having conversations about types of things that we might collaborate on, Matt suggested that we do a half hour of Robot Chicken that was solely Star Wars. And they liked that idea, and we jumped right into it.
Which is cool. I mean, obviously there's a lot of Star Wars fans out there as well. And then you were just at Comic-Con. I'm pretty sure you saw quite a few Star Wars fans out there. And we came up to you and just shake your hand. Wow, amazing.
It's crazy, dude, and I don't even know what happened to us. I've seen so many fan films and so much fan love for Star Wars that I'm really I don't understand why we get to do this. But I'm so excited by it, and we just try and do the best stuff we can because we are fanboys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a fanboy, you love doing it. And there's so many fan films out there of Star Wars that make fun of it or take elements of it from it. So it's a lot of fun to be able to do a half an hour thing and actually get paid for it.
Yeah, paid is a relative term, but we did get to make it.
Yeah, I mean, are we going to expect a episode, DVD 3, do you think?
Well, Adult Swim announced that. We haven't really said anything formal about doing a third one. We're totally open to it. It is so much fun to get to play with Star Wars, and we love making the show. So. Well,
with the success of the DVD and now the success of the second DVD, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a third one, but...
I hope that people like this DVD. We worked on it really hard. We're really excited about it. I hope that people dig it.
Awesome.
Are you going to come out to our skate party?
I'm going to try to. I really want to go out there for a skate party. Definitely.
You got to check it out. We posted a ton of footage over AdultSwimPresents.com. People are going to be able to track us across the country. So if people want to see what the skate parties that have already happened look like and want to see what it's going to be like in town, they can check out all the videos there. And we also have a Facebook. We're uploading a bunch of videos.
Well, that's great. Yeah, definitely got to check it out. I mean, and then if you just look up Robot Chicken on Facebook, you can find it, right?
It's Robot Chicken on Wheels, I believe, on the Facebook. But if you go to YouTube and look up Robot Chicken Skate Party, you'll see Boba Fett on skates and a Scout biker scout dance circle around a slave. Yeah. That just actually happened at our party, and I happened to catch it on video. It was crazy.
No, it's absolutely crazy. I wanted to ask you a little bit about, getting these celebrities to do some of the voices, which is very unusual to do. A lot of people just bring in character actors or whatever to do the voices, but you actually put physical actors in.
Well, I mean, every voiceover actor is a physical actor, but we have reached out to a lot of friends and just invited them to come play with us, because our show is really a safe arena for people to be very silly without fear of persecution, I guess. Our show is just really silly. We invite people an opportunity to play characters they never get to play physically, I think people are reacting to that.
I think the whole cast of Family Guy has been on Robot Chicken, if I remember correctly, because I know Lois Borstein has been on there, Seth MacFarlane's been on there, and Mila's been on there.
Yeah, I also had Mike Henry and Danny Smith, and I mean, I love Family Guy. We've been friends for a really long time, and I've been working on that show over 10 years, except for the 3 that we were on hiatus, so I guess technically over 7 years. But yeah, they're all super talented, and I'm excited to have them on.
Should we expect new episodes of Family Guy coming up too?
Say that again, I'm sorry?
I said, are we going to see more episodes of Family Guy coming up?
Oh, I think Family Guy got picked up for at least a season, and I'm pretty sure I've recorded that entire season already. But it takes a while to produce that animation, so it'll probably be a little bit before you see those new episodes.
Awesome. And then we're, of course, in the new season of Robot Chicken. How many episodes do we have left? I'm
not entirely sure. I want to say it was the second half, so it would probably be 10 episodes.
Awesome. 10 episodes of Robot Chicken. And then are you guys going to put that out to DVD as well later this year?
Yeah, this is the crazy thing. Because of how the stuff gets released, we've already finished putting together all the materials for the Season 4 DVD, so that by the time the season actually finishes, the DVD will come out. And I think it's in time for Christmas. They're so smart in the marketing and promotions department.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. So we're going to expect that to come out during Christmas. And also, I wanted to ask you, was there any incident where a celebrity called you up or called Matt up and said, I didn't really like to put on screen, I'm not like that really, or have they been all in good fun?
We've been really lucky. Nobody's had any bad things, or at least nobody said them to my face, I guess. But we're also really not all that mean to people. We're more just playful and silly. You know what I'm saying? We're never quite mean-spirited. Like I'll even say some of the stuff Family Guy is just flat out mean to people, especially celebrities. They just go right for the jugular with celebrities. But we're more silly. We're really not out to piss somebody off. We're just having fun.
I mean, you seem like to be an 80s buff, too, when I watched a lot of the stuff. I mean, the 80s...
Yeah, that's all my childhood. I mean, It's kind of embedded in my memory. I'm sure that's the way it is in anybody who grew up in the same time period.
That's why I grew up at the same time period, too, so I got a lot of the jokes,
Right on. Yeah, we throw in, tons of just buried, super detailed stuff for people that were there, and then we try and make comedy accessible to anybody else who's just casually watching.
I mean, yeah, Strawberry Shortcake, the Strawberry Shortcake sets are hilarious. I love the mask one for this season as well.
Hey, man, we spent a really long time trying to figure out how to do something with masks, because it's hard to explain. I loved it when I was a kid, but it's kind of silly. It's kind of really silly. And one of our writers, Hugh Davidson, wrote that sketch, and he didn't know anything about the property at all. But he watched the opening theme song and looked at the Wikipedia and wrote that sketch. And it just made us all laugh so much.
Should we expect any more Surf skits coming up?
We don't have anything planned, but stuff pops up all the time. The boys have just started kicking around that. Has the Smurfs versus Snorks aired already?
I don't think it has.
Then you can look out for that.
Oh, awesome, great. I love the Smurfs sketches too. I love it. It's just that you do so much with the 80s, and I was a child of the 80s, so watching all this stuff, it's just absolutely hilarious to be able to see these, like the Care Bears, and to see Strawberry Shortcake, to see Rainbow Bright, and then the little documentaries about what happened to them after the 80s. That was actually good too. So I'm definitely a fan of the show as well. And then you're going to head to Vegas. Vegas this thing